Hey everybody, I'm Mike Baird. If you like drum stuff, if you like reviews of drum gear, or even an interview with somebody I've worked with or know in the music business, and even a story about me in the music business, you're in Mikes Drum Cubby. Welcome, Cubbers, to another episode of Mikes Drum Cubby, the channel I created for you, the Cubbers. And no, today we're not making a pizza. And no, we're not solving mathematical equations or working with computers. But what we are doing is we're talking about the DW snare drum. And as usual, I'm going to talk about it, you're going to see me play it, and you're going to hear it. Then I'm going to share a little story about how I got the drum, and then another story about me in the music business. So stick around. And if you dig the channel, hit the subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up, send me comments, and click that little bell so you get notifications when a new cubby comes out. Well, let's get cooking. The DW Pi. Well, this is a 3.14 depth 10 lug drum, which is how they came up with pi, which is the ratio of the circle's circumference to its diameter. And that's why the pi symbol on it also. It's a birch shell. It's got the cool little throw off, which I'll show you in a second. It likes all tunings, high, medium, and low. Of course, low you can only go solo because of the depth, but it's a great sounding little drum. So here's the mini mag throw off, which is awesome. The butt end, 3-position butt end, the lug, the DW logo, and the Pi logo, the case that has the Pi logo, which is an awesome case, DW, so everybody knows what drum you got, and the interior of the case. All right, here we go. Tuning is about here. Center section of the strainer. Let's try this. Rim shot. Tuning's down here, kind of low for this drum, but maybe not. Let's try this. Strainer's in the same position, no padding, here we go. Rim shot. I'm going to try a little padding here. So same tuning. Kind of low, but you know, I kind of like it up higher, but you might like it down here anyway. Here we go. Rim shot. Okay, so we've tuned it up. Padding's in the same place, strainer's in the same place. Here we go. Rim shot. Okay, we're back. Would anybody like to guess the weight of this drum? Hit it! 8 pounds, 11.8 ounces. It's a heavy little drum. Yeah, okay, let's see if we can get this thing started today. A little bit of throttle here. And get it. No, a little more. There we go. Yeah, we got that. Whoa! Yeah. All right, we're going now. Yeah. Okay. Whoa. Oh, man. Wow. So, here's how I got the drum. One day I called up John Good, and I've known John Good, who's VP of Drum Workshop, forever. I mean, back in the day when he was making bass drum pedals, because that's all DW made at one time, was just these bass drum pedals, the replication of the old Camco pedals. Anyway, he was making bass drum pedal in Don Lombardi's garage. Anyway, so I'm there, we're going to have lunch, we're going to talk, we're going to round table about some things we want to work on together. And I happened to mention to him, hey, what's with this pie drum? I've heard about it. I'd like to try one, but I think I'd like to try the carbon fiber. He goes, well, I don't have any of those. But he goes, hey, but I've got this one, and you'll like this one. He said, this one's birch. Well, I do. I like birch drums. I mean, they're kind of out of vogue now, but I like them. Everybody kind of digs maple, or they dig, whatever, cherry or whatever. And I like those too. But I said, yeah, okay, I'll try it. So he gives me this bitchin' case, and I walk out with it. We have lunch, and it's all good. Now, to be honest, I didn't think that I would like this drum, but I got it in the studio, and I really did like it. And you'll hear it, and you'll like it for what you think. What do you think? You like it? It's kind of cool. You can tune it up, you can tune it down. It's pretty versatile for what it is. I wouldn't have thought that. Now, back when DW was in Newbury Park, before they moved to the big facility out in Oxnard, John had made me, I think it was a 4x15. Might have been a 5x15. I should have probably talked to him about that. But anyway, and that was kind of like, wow. I mean, he was always pushing the envelope, as he is now. He's always pushing the envelope, trying to find something different. And that was a cool sounding drum too, but that drum particularly was kind of limited. It was kind of almost, I would say, a one-trick pony. This drum isn't. This is pretty versatile. You can tune it up, you can tune it mid-range. Low, it's only going to go so low because of the depth of the drum. It's not that deep. But it sounds really good. At least I think it sounds really good. And believe me, if I didn't think it would sound good, first of all, I wouldn't be doing this, and because I'd be giving it back to him. And I'm keeping it. So there you have that. And now, a moment with Mike. So one day the phone rings and I get a phone call from a composer, arranger guy named Charlie Colello. And I did a lot of jingles or commercials with him. I did some albums, but mostly it was commercials and stuff like that. And they say, we got this session. It's a big session. It's for McDonald's. It's a national spot. It's on this date, such and such, such. It's going to be at Jenna Foodie. Jenna Foodie was actually a very popular studio back in the day. Don't think it's around anymore. But anyway, I did Christopher Cross. I did a bunch of things at that studio over the years. Anyway, so I go down. I knew it was going to be the normal cast of characters in the band. Great band. It was always an awesome band. And in that studio, you walked in, and there was the main room, and then they had kind of a drum booth in the back. It wasn't a closed-in booth, but it was, drum booth. It was just an area to kind of isolate the drums from the rest of the instruments. Sometimes we used it, sometimes didn't. Today, we were doing it. Anyway, it's a big deal. So I see Charlie, see all the guys, it's all great, and then this guy who's the musical supervisor for McDonald's is there because it's a big deal. So he comes out in the room, and Charlie introduces him. This is so-and-so, whatever. Hey, guys, how you doing? Whatever. Okay. Goes back in the booth. Charlie says, it's a gospel thing. It's kind of up-tempo gospel thing. Perfect. So we're cutting track, and we listen back. Guy says, well, can we change this? Can we change that? No problem. We do it again. We do it again. We do it again. We do it again. And this changes. And I'm like, wow, this is kind of nitpicky. Usually it doesn't go this, it's not this difficult. So we take a break. We come back. Well, this goes on for like over an hour. We're cutting this track. I'm thinking, why is this taking so long? Normally things are pretty fast. Well, then all of a sudden I look and I can see the booth on my right side and see through the glass, the control room. And I see a whole bunch of people in suits come in. I can't see, I'm looking at them like, oh, I bet this guy's up for a review, or these are all the suits wanting to see, how their money's being spent, whatever. And that's why the stall of doing this, so he can do a dog and pony show to the suits, right? Makes sense. At least that's what I'm thinking. And it wound up being the case. But anyway, so we cut the track, more changes. We cut another track, same track. We keep doing the same track. And he comes out a couple times, makes some suggestions, goes back in the booth. And now we do another take. And he goes, hold on, guys. And he comes out again. And now he walks right past Charlie, walks past the band, and now he's walking straight towards me. I'm like, okay. Now Charlie starts looking at me, and his eyes get kind of big because I'm kind of a comedic guy telling jokes, making fun of stuff, whatever. And he's like, don't like, no, don't like, don't say anything, that's going to send us home, right? And it's like, oh no, I just kind of nod my head, like, I got you. I can see him, and I'm watching this guy coming towards me. So he gets to the drum booth, and he says, Mike, right? And I go, yeah, Mike. And he goes, I need more fries. And Charlie kind of like, I can see him turn around trying to look at the music, like no expression. All the guys and the cats in the band are like, oh my God, here we go. And I'm looking at this guy and I'm trying to think, okay, first of all, I got to be careful because this guy's under the gun. We're under the gun. What do we deal with this? So like I said, it was an up-tempo thing. So the groove was kind of like boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, ba-dap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, ba-dap, boom, bap. So off the cuff, I just go, I'm going to do a little buzz roll with my right hand on the hi-hat. So it goes, brr-dap, boo-dap, brr-da-bat, brr-dap, 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 brr-da-bat, brr-dap. And I play that and I go, how's that? And he goes, what's that? And I go, Grease. And I see Charlie go like this. Everybody in the band's like trying to turn away, not from laughing. And this guy's just staring at me. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I hope this guy doesn't see me sweating because I was seriously sweating. And I'm like looking at him like I'm dead serious, right? And all of a sudden he goes, I love it. And he turns around and he walks back through the studio, goes into the booth, says, let's cut this thing. And so we cut it and I do that groove, whatever. And he comes on to talk back after we're done. We hit the end. That was fantastic, guys. And I see everybody in the room like shaking his head. Yeah, that's why we pay this guy the big bucks, right? And then so we do a couple of bumpers, little short versions of the main version. And, for endings, for little shorter clips, of whatever. And he hands out the form, and I go past Charlie and says, I don't know how you did it. I thought we were all going home. And everybody in the band's like, wow. I wouldn't have thought of that one. So anyway, just thought I would share that story for today. So we've come towards the end of another episode of Mikes Drum Cubby. It's been great having you. And if you dig the channel, please hit the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, send me comments. Always love to hear the comments. And anyway, what do we usually say when we get to the end?
And that's it.
And we'll see you in a minute.